we have this larger window now. It's inset and it's cut through, which is ultimately what we wanted. But I think before I cut that, I probably should have made the smaller variant of this. It would have saved me having to cut again, but it's not a problem. I'm going to take this as we have it. I'm just going to select everything. I'll need to get into the optimizing soon enough though, because it's getting a little messy here. And I will just Control D and duplicate that. Turn on my grid snap. And I want to move this to the side. I'll actually keep it joined along the side there as a reference. And for this, I want to separate this object. Oh, it's not actually joined, which is perfect. I need to fix up this problem there. See, that hole is going to be too big when I scale the window down. So I'm going to fix that actually by removing this side altogether. Removed a lot of it. Alright, and now I can just mirror this. Perfect. Make sure it's welded. I'll go into edit mode. One to go into verts, 8 to select all, and right click and merge verts by distance. Now, okay, because I actually changed this, you want to make sure that when verts are overlapping, as you should, make sure you're set back on the lowest, because they're right on top of each other. They shouldn't need any threshold increase. Right, so now with that fixed and set up, what I can do is grab my window here and all its components. That's a lot. Yeah. And they're all fed from the one pivot point. So all I have to do is scale downwards. And I'm going to go into front orthographic to get a better idea. Actually, I just had a inner monologue with myself there, and what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to copy this one more time, the whole piece. And I'm going to Shift D to duplicate that one, and I'm going to move this off to this side for the moment, because I think I'm actually going to, for the sake of a front entrance, you know, like a window above a front entrance, it'd be nice to have it kind of decorated. I'm going to kind of curve that roof. So I'll be beveling what we already have, but it's a good way to turn a pointed roof into a rounded roof, and it's very, very easy to do. So I'm going to come back to that one now in a second. I will pick up where I left off here, select all of these pieces. Go into front orthographic, and I'm going to scale down. Okay, that looks about right to me. So again, with knife project, I want to select the mesh that I want to cut. I need to create a knife first, so I'll grab this piece, isolate them, go into tab, and I want to select the edges around this piece. Shift D to duplicate it, E to separate selection. Now I'll just grab that knife and pull it backwards a little. Okay, so I'll grab the piece I want to cut, tab into edit mode, and I'm going to hold Control and select the knife, and I'll go into front orthographic, go to mesh and knife project, and make sure cut through is turned on there, so we don't make that mistake twice. I'll come out of edit mode, don't need my knife, so I'll delete that. And I'll isolate our roof segments here, and I want to select the offcut first, Shift, select the roof, Control J, Tab, 1 to go into vert select, A for everything, right click and merge verts by distance. Now I'll just remove these windows. Alright, 1 to go back into verts, and I'm going to clean up this geometry. So K to use your knife tool, and I'm going to cut triangle for now, just into these pieces. Okay, this has some funny geometry going on here. I don't need these. Dissolve vertices. And I'm hoping this doesn't break anything, but I want to cut here to here. And then go to edge select, select this edge, X, dissolve edges. Okay, thankfully it didn't break anything. Alright, so there's a smaller window now as well. So now it brings me to this one here. And what I wanted to do with this one was make it a little more of a decorated surface. For that though, I think I might have to get rid of this guy. He's not going to work anymore, so Alt X, delete him. I'm going to grab each of these pieces. I won't worry about the window for the moment, that'll take a different approach. I'm going to isolate that, and now I want to go into X-ray, into edit mode, make sure I'm on edge select, and I'm going to look down through the piece from orthographic, and I want to make sure I'm selecting all the edges that are on the top. I think that's that. I don't need this piece at the bottom, so I'll hold Control and select him off. Okay, now hopefully this will work. I want to round this off, so what I'm going to do is press Control and B to bevel. I'm just going to move this outwards, and there's some funny happening. Maybe I'm just going to remove this window for now. Okay, so I want to select down through this. I want to select all those edges that are running along the very spine of it. So I'm going to click and drag over the edges. I'll come out of X-ray, and now I just need to select also the front facing ones. So all those edges running along the middle are selected. I come out of isolation. I will actually need to do it on this guy as well. I do need to include them though, so I'm going to have to reset my selection. Select the frame and then each piece. I'm going to edit mode, and now with them selected, I'll hold Alt, Shift and select that spine. So now when I Control B, I can then bevel this, and if I scroll my mouse wheel up, it adds segments in. So I just want to get this rounded off pretty nicely. The important part to get here is that you want to make sure there's a piece in the center. If I was to keep this and I want to raise this up using proportional editing, I don't have a spine here, and I could add one in along there. Obviously I need to fix that up as well, but now it's not. You want to make sure that your polys are consistent size. So I will do the same again, but I want to make sure I add enough so that there's a piece running down the center, like that. So now if I go into front orthographic, vertex mode and turn on select through. I want to select just those verts, come out of X-ray, and now I'm going to turn on proportional editing up here with the sphere setting, and if I press G and move that up, I'm going to press the middle mouse to lock in the Z-axis. I can then scroll the wheel to get the influence that I want on this. So I want it to be something like, I don't want it to affect the wings here, so I'm just going to bring that up until it starts pulling on them as well. Maybe here. No, it's a little much. I'll go with that. Alright, so it's not bad. It did cause some issues. We need to weld a couple of verts here and there, but overall not too bad. I'm going to turn off proportional editing for now, and I want to just move these. I'm actually going to weld that. I'm going to actually, in my quick favorites, I have weld to last set up. So for people who don't have that set up, what I'll do quickly is to show you how. If I select the vert, say I want to weld this vertex to this one, I'll select this one first, then shift select the vert I want to weld it to, and then if I right click, merge verts, and you can see at last here in the list. But I want to press right click, and I have removed quick favorite shown up because I already have it added. If you don't have it added, and you click right click, add the quick favorites, now that'll show up every time you press the Q key. So it can speed up your workflow there. The same is going to happen here. There's a bit of a problem with this, so I'm going to isolate that. I can't, I have to separate that selection first. Now isolate it. Yeah, so that caused a bit of an issue here, but it's not really an issue. I can just go into edge mode, select those edges, and I'm just going to, in front orthographic, I'm going to just move that. I'll move it to here for now, because I'm going to join all these anyway. Let's select him. In vertex mode, select first, and then second, Q, weld to last. And I'll just go around doing this. I'm sure there's a quicker way to do it, but it gets the job done regardless. Now I could just mirror this, which I will. So I won't worry about it for the moment. I'm just going to give him his mirror on Y, and call that a day. Apply that. So I'll need to add the window area back in and do the cut. So just one last time I'll show how. I'm going to select this object, isolate it, go into edit mode, and I want to select the outside ring of edges. Shift B, duplicate B, separate by selection. And I'll just select that, pull it away, come out of isolation. Now, grab the roof I want to cut. I want to remove the back faces. B, separate by selection. Come out of X-ray. Now I'll select the object. Oh, something happened there. What did you not remove? Oh, I was in edge mode. Alright. No harm. I'll try that again. This time do it in face mode. So select the faces. E, separate selection. Out of X-ray. Okay, select the object I want to cut. Go back into edit mode with tab. Now control and click the knife I want to use. Go into front orthographic, mesh, knife project. And I will just start removing these faces. There we go, and remove the knife. So I will just also fix up the topology here. Okay, to select a knife and just cut corner to corner. Now this will be a bit of a mess, but again, this is not going to be animated at all, so triangles are completely fine on a mesh like this. So I will just, they don't need to be double there actually. I'm going to weld them, Q, weld to last. Now I'll just cut back and forward. Like that. And do the same on this side. Alright, so only tries and quads there. Okay, we're almost at the horrible bit where we have to optimize everything before UVs. So let's enjoy this last little section before it gets evil. I'm going to rejoin these, so I'll select this guy with the offcut and now select the main roof, Control J, tab into edit mode, one to go into vertex and A to select all, right click, merge verts by distance. And there we go. So I need to give this an actual window. So I'm just going to copy this piece actually. I'll bring him over, I can adjust him to work. But first I need to actually give it some glass. So best way to do this I think would be select this object, isolate him and go to edges and just select the outside edge. Don't need him actually, I'm going to get rid of that. X dissolve edges. Now, select the outside. Shift D to duplicate. E separate by selection. And now if I just grab that, I'm going to go into edit mode, press F. F to draw a face between it. And I will actually isolate this so I can see the polys on it. I'll press I and I'm going to inset that a touch just to give it a bit of a border. And now in front orthographic, I'm actually just going to cut some polys into this. There's probably a better way I could have done this. In fact, I'm sure there is, but again, it's all temporary until I start optimizing everything. This is just to get the assets built and ready to texture. So I'll move this guy back. And now I want to adjust this. So he needs to be centered. bring him up so that he's inside the frame on that side. We'll go into X-ray and press 1 to go to verts. No, tab to go edit, 1 to go to verts, and then it's going to select all these bottom pieces. And I'll pull them down into the frame as well. I might actually get a cross section on this as well. So I'm quickly just going to queue all transforms, and right click, set origin to geometry. So now it's perfectly in the center of the geometry there. I'll press Shift D and duplicate it. Now I'll go to rotate it, and I rotate that 90 degrees. And scale, I'll just scale it along the y-axis here. Yeah, something like that's fine. Okay, so we have a little variety of windows we could use now. And for the moment, I think that will do. I'm gonna have to optimize these because the next logical stage is to actually start UV unwrapping these and get textures on them. But it's starting to get there. It looks a bit faceted here actually. I might shade smooth it. It's a little too smooth now. And there's a bit of break in here we need to fix. Not a problem though, I'll get to that when I'm unwrapping it. And to fix that smoothing, I'm just going to bring it down here to normal so turn on not smooth. Let's just fix this now, actually it's bugging my eyes. Okay. And I'll snap here. I'm just going to pull these up until they're roughly in line with what's above them. Yeah, this one's kind of hidden, so I'll need to go into X-ray for this. And there's something happening there as well. I'll bring that down. Alright, that's better. No. Really, I didn't see that. Alright, let's do this as well. Like this, front orthographic. This is much more subtle. I have to select through here, so I'm gonna have to click and drag over the verts. Perfect. Right, that's all I'm doing with that.